Hey there. Imagine your name on a book. Can you picture yourself at a Barnes& Noble doing a book signing? What would your life look like? A couple months ago, that sounded like insanity for us. But somehow, us two morons are right now going to our own book signing for The Mind Body Melt.
You remember this? Huh? Okay. Look.
We are actually going to Barnes & Noble right now.
Behold. This is us.
That's us.
On the back of the book.
Very,
morons.
very pasty.
Two idiots. Pasty there.
Tan now.
Tan now.
Not thanks to the book, but.
Thank you, Blush. Tan.
So, we're actually going. So come for a ride for us as we prepare for this book signing.
Our journey.
Our journey there.
The journey that you could
You
do
can
as
you
well.
can definitely do
This
this.
could be you. This could be you.
It should be you.
Okay? It should be you.
I want to see it as you.
Okay? Aside from us doing this, no greater satisfaction than to see you get inspired.
I'd rather see you do it than us.
Get off your ass. Sorry.
Everyone has a story.
Everybody's got an ass, too. I guess. I don't know. Enough of the book?
So with that,
There goes the book.
with that being said,
Okay?
come join us for the ride. We're going to go all the way from Wellesley, Massachusetts to Hingham for this book signing. So join us as we go right now.
Okay.
I'll drive. You talk.
I talk? Oh, God.
He's gonna
What do I
talk.
say? I don't know what to say.
So I guess the first thing that we should talk about. Ooh, look at this person. The first thing we should talk about
We're
is
still motoring, so remember that.
That's
We are
true.
driving.
We are driving.
So we're dealing with the vagaries of the road, the risks
Yes.
of the road here.
Yep.
Like, what's this guy doing?
I don't know what's he doing.
I don't know.
He thinks he has the right of way.
He looked like he was pulling in, and
going
now
out.
he's pulling out again. He can't make up his mind.
Sounds like most men out there.
I can't decide what I want to do. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Hey, you know what? That's a perfect segue. What do I
Yes.
want to do?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do to change your life, to make it different? Because I don't know what the percentage is of people out there who are dissatisfied with their current existences.
I'd say half.
But it might
Probably
be even more than that. I don't know. I see it every day. You can just tell. You call somebody in customer service. Welcome to... It's like no energy level. Nothing.
Nothing.
Zero. No inspiration. It's
They'd
not.
rather be dead than doing that.
But it's not
Dead.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Okay. You just have to seek out that thing that drives you. What motivates you. And it doesn't have to be an all or nothing proposition. That's the thing. We've been working on this thing for 3 years. Okay? The average person would be like, what's going on? What are you doing? As a matter of fact, we've gotten that from friends, from loved ones, from total strangers. What's the refrain that we always fall back on? It'll never happen.
Never happen.
You're
good
not.
luck. Good luck with that.
Good luck with that. Good luck with
We
that.
should have invited that guy today.
I even had somebody do this to me. Give me the hand wave like that. Like it's over. Like
No chance.
don't even try. Don't even try.
Chance. None.
You know, fucking try. Just try. Just do it. Just try something. If you talk to any person out there, I mean, we've got
Anybody.
various mentors out there. Craig Ballantyne is a big one for me. I don't know.
There's
Tony
a whole
Robbins.
list I'll put right. Listed right here.
You know what all these guys say, or gals say? Just do something. Get off your arse and do something. Do something. My mic skills are horrible.
So
do something.
But what the question is? Okay, so let's say you find something you want to do or you kind of like to do. Why? What should you do with it? I think what you should do is you should write a book. That's the new thing. They're now saying, I forget who said it, but somebody said
Somebody.
that books will be the new business cards of the future.
You might have said it.
I think I said that. I'll take full credit.
I'll take credit for that.
I'll take full credit.
Um,
In this day and age, if you think about it, 100 years ago, even 10 years ago, you could not write a book unless you had a publisher to publish your book. Nowadays, we live in a world where you can literally sit in front of your computer, pound away on the keyboard, put out complete nonsense. Obviously, you don't want to, but you could go to somewhere like CreateSpace, and you can publish your own Look at that face. You can publish your own book.
Behold.
And that's what we did.
Um,
And think about it. How many times in your life have you had to write an email or a paper for school or for work or whatever? And did you get paid more for it? Did you get more credit for it? No, it was just part of the system, part of what you were doing. You have the skills to write. Our book is, I think, we put it through the internet, and we found, I think it's like a 6th grade or 7th grade reading level.
yeah.
You can write a book.
And that's where you
And that's what you should do. I think most people think to write a book it has to be some epic novel of War and Peace or like a James Patterson thing or I don't know, whoever else writes fancy or Shakespearean thing. No, it doesn't.
No, simpler is better.
Simpler
actually.
is better.
And we actually had to tone it down. Oh, thank you.
Good. It's back to you.
I mean,
Here, we'll
through
list all the bumps.
high
You roller
school,
coaster.
college, I've written hundreds of papers. I put my special form of BS on it. This was probably the first tome that Dan and I obviously worked on together, but it was probably the most difficult, not to discourage you, but difficult from the vantage point of we had to dumb it down. We had to make it so that, like Dan said, a 7-year-old or 8-year-old could comprehend it. And it, as a matter of fact, my mother-in-law, when she first picked it up, she goes, what did she say to me? She said, "Oh my God, this is
Bumps
so
in the
easy,
road."
so easy to read. It's so easy to read." That was the ultimate compliment to me, because it young, old, what have you,
Alive, dead.
alive, dead.
No, alive.
Yeah, throw it into the grave. Hey, this is easy to read," said
By
the
the way,
corpse.
try-
God, this is horrible.
We gotta move somewhere so we can.
We gotta
not
move
have
somewhere
bumps.
where we have nice roads.
I'm just gonna hold it the whole time. Once we get on the highway, we'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
Until then,
This is part of the flavor, if you will,
it's a roller coaster.
of the adventure. So,
Yeah.
getting back to the book, you can do this. You can do this. And it's so funny because the perception out there, once you become a published author,
Or
self-published, is immense. I will give you an example. My next door neighbor is actually, I won't name names, but he's a writer. He's an author. He publishes novels, fiction based mostly, science fiction, I think. He just came out with another book. He's in the editing process. He also teaches at a university. I bumped into him a couple weeks ago. It was like kismet. Told him I was writing a book. Was expecting, that kind of pained response type of thing. Like, really? He couldn't have been happier. He thought that was the greatest thing. And he went on to tell me about a friend of his who actually writes for James Patterson. I think he's a cauldron of writers, churning out, his content all the time. And he said that this guy did the same thing. He'd gone to various publishers, had been rejected, and just decided, screw it, I'm just going to do it myself. And he went out there, started giving away content online, and a year later, he's actually sold 1 million books. 1 million books. He's up in that rarefied air there. Stephen King, James Patterson, his mentor. It's pretty remarkable when you think about it. So, the thought process is, like Dan said, you don't want to just throw anything out there. You don't want to just publish crap. It took us. You would, but you shouldn't. It took us a year to actually put this together. So we put a lot of heart and soul, a lot of time into this to make sure it was just right. And we did it for us, but we did it for you, because we didn't want to publish crap. I mean, we wanted to publish something that...
Ready for the bump? Whee!
Here we go.
Ah!
If you pick it up...
More bumps. More.
If you pick it up and you sift through it, you go, there's really some pertinent information here. And unobjectively, I actually picked the book up again after reading it, proofreading it, blah, blah, blah. And I read it on its own. It's kind of like an actor who sees their movie for the first time. I was on a plane trip, and I read it. And it's an easy read. It's probably about 90-something pages. And I thought, my God, this is actually good. I could step aside from this and say, God damn, these guys are talented. They know their stuff. So it inspired me once again to say we're doing the right thing. But it should also inspire you, because like Dan said, we're two knuckleheads. I mean, seriously. I mean, We can speak the King's English. We can put pen to paper. But, writing a novel in this day and age is actually simpler than you would think. And I'm going to turn it back to Dan because he's got oodles of thoughts, comments, opinions, and things to shout to the mountaintops about. Okay? So, back at you.
You're probably thinking, okay, so you're saying to yourself right now, okay, self, these guys, these clowns, and we don't think we are clowns, but we're just, playing on words. All right, so you're saying, yes, I could write a book. You're saying I could do it. You're saying you did it, and how you went through the process, and how actually, when you put the time and effort into it, and you look back on it later on, you're pretty impressed, and it came out nicely, but how do you do it? So, obviously, there's only 24 hours in a day, and your life right now is probably insanely fucking busy. You probably have a million things going on right now, and while the idea of your name on a book cover sounds amazing, and you showing it to your friends, family, and putting it on Amazon and on the line for the world to see, how would you actually find the time, and how would you go about doing it? So, we start off by saying find something that inspires you. Do that. What I would recommend is take 1 hour a day, first thing in the morning. This book was written at Starbucks between 5:30 and 7 in the morning for about, I think it was 2 to 3 days a week for about 7 months, and then we did 4 months of editing. It's doable, and the strangest things happens in the morning. There's no distractions. People usually aren't blowing up your phone with messages or calls at 5, 6 in the morning. It's this quiet stillness to the day. And you get in this weird place where you're typing, and it's like not even that you're typing. It's like a force or energy is fucking flowing through you, doing all the typing. You have the idea to start, but once you start going, all this amazing stuff comes out. Some people call it automatic writing. It's known as other things depending on whom you ask. But you just get into this flow state, and these words just literally magically appear.
Leap on the page.
Some people will say, well, what about writer's block? Duh! And yes.
Just like that?
Just like that. There's a way to overcome that. So
yeah.
You might have a day or two where you sit down there and literally nothing comes out, no matter how relaxed you are, how in the zone you are. Maybe you did hours of yoga, and you still just can't get in that flow state of being relaxed. How are there bumps on this road? I'm getting the words out.
Actually, as an aside,
yes.
You know that this reminds me of the yoga mat.
Oh, yeah.
Rearranging the yoga mat. Rearranging.
Constantly.
If you see our core, shameless plug for our core product, but there were many times where I'd have to rearrange the yoga mat. We tried to stick it to a surface, and it just kept folding up and crimping and this and that. So it's constantly smoothing out the mat, and just it goes to show you how extremely unprofessional we are.
But we're trying our best.
So, case in point, bouncing around.
One day things won't move. It'll be great. Until then,
see, buy our shit so that we can buy like better production values, better equipment,
yes.
Better everything.
It'll enhance the experience for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
We'll invest the money back in the company.
We will. Plow it all back in. We're not going to buy toys and things like that. Hey, look at my new jet ski.
We'll be on a jet ski.
Thanks to you.
We'll be on the jet ski doing the next motoring.
Motor no! And you're dead.
And you're dead. Flip it over. So, Best Way to Overcome Writer's Block is a book called, not The Art of War, also a good book, but it's called The War of Art. And one recommendation is to do it, make it a habit, do it daily. When it becomes a daily thing, you're not going to have writer's block. Because writer's block is kind of like, I feel like writing now. I feel like doing it. I'm going to do it. No, just make it a habit and do it every fucking single day.
Nike says just do it. Live by that credo. Live by that motto. I'll do that with people I train. Oh, I'm with you 2 days a week. Okay, you're with me 2 days a week. What are you doing on the other days? Yeah, just do it. Do something. Walk, ride a bike, do something.
Do it.
I'm going to kill you 2-3 days a week. The other days, continue to move, continue to do something. I always love that too when they say, you should take a day off. People literally like, I'll take a day off, I'm going to lie on the couch, I'm going to eat pizza and wings and everything. No. Do something.
Do it.
Just do it.
So pick I would say try to do 2 or 3 days a week. Get up early and just write for an hour. Eventually, yeah, it sucks. It can be dark. It can be tough to get up, but if you want to do it, you will do it. And then once you get at least a chapter or two done, or the introduction done, you get momentum. You want to finish it, and it becomes this quest to finish it. So first, find the topic, something you like. Second, carve out time in the morning, an hour, hour and a half, a couple days a week. You can do it every day if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Make it a habit. Don't wait to be inspired, because that's fleeting. Just make it a habit. The inspiration will come from the daily activities.
Start slow too.
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing too. Start slow, because it's like a workout routine. You know what happens usually in January? You come up with your New Year's resolution. Everybody does it. Everybody's been prone to it or subjected themselves to it. You're setting yourself up for failure because you have these big grandiose dreams. So it's like, I'm going to get up and I'm going to work out every day. That's my dumb guy voice. I'm going to get up and work out every day. And you may go the first day, then the second day, then the third day. You're like, oh, I'm going to hit the snooze. Oh, I'm going to go. I'll get up later. And then by the end of the month, you're not even going. And the gyms love it because they've signed you up, for whatever, a year or so. They don't care if you show up or not. They don't care. They're moving on to the next person.
They don't care.
And the next membership. Point being, and I don't want to diverge away from this, but the point being is that start slow. Like Dan said, 2 to 3 days a week, okay? Set your expectations low, but not too low. Set them where they're manageable.
Do it for fun, too. Don't do it because you want to make a ton of money. Do it for a passion. If you're doing it just for money, you're going to give up. I promise you.
Right.
I promise you.
We're
and
not...
the guy behind me.
We're not... Hello? Oh, and the guy in the back seat. Oh! Trust me, in future, you're going to be surprised who we're going to have in that back seat. Who we're going to abuse in the back seat. I said, shut up, Brad Pitt. You talking out of line? Shut up. You shut up. Okay, sorry.
If you want to join us, Brad Pitt, please
really.
send us a direct message. We'll have you in here.
Clooney. Yeah, that was a great movie. So anyway, where was I? Oh, we were talking about motivation.
Just do it, and don't do it for the money. Do it to make it a habit.
Yeah,
yes.
do it because it's your passion. Because do it like, you know what they say, the guidance counselors in school, they say if you had $1 million or whatever, unlimited wealth, what would you do? Mm-hmm. What would you do that would be your passion? You might be working on cars. I'm stealing from Office Space right now. But that makes no sense. But it does make sense. People are so preoccupied with, well, if I don't make money from it, what's the point? And I'm not going to make money, and then I won't have a house over my head, and I won't eat, and I'll starve. It's like, society won't let us starve, okay? You're going to be fine, okay? Continue to do your work. You can carve out an hour a day. Get up 1 hour earlier, and make this your quest to do this every day. This is the first thing that you do. You're either going to work out in the morning, or you're going to write. Maybe you're going to work out and then write. Maybe you're going to write, then work out. It just depends on your schedule, your lifestyle. But like Dan said, it's doable. You can start incrementally, baby steps to make this happen.
You want to start somewhere, and you might be saying, too, like, that's great you guys have found your inspiration, your passion, what you want to do on this earth, but I'm still stuck and I don't know what to do. Well, the thing is, every day you do something. You could literally write a book about anything. You could write a book about sleep. You could write a book about the TV shows you watch, how to find the right TV shows, how to watch the right sports, how to play fantasy football. You do something every day.
There are people that make a living doing that.
And people want to know how to get better at things, and they're always interested. So find something you're already doing if you don't have a passion, and write about that. Pick a topic, break it down into 3 sections. We liked, just health and wellness and becoming a stronger person mentally and physically. So we have fitness, meditations, and affirmations.
Say it.
Affirmations.
Yep.
And with that, 3 topics. From there, we broke those down into 3 different things, and then you have a book. And then you have a book.
Easy peasy.
It's not too bad.
Once you get the concept down.
This person's driving very slow. We're trying to get to a book signing.
Don't you know who we are? We're or something. Pretty damn important.
No.
But that's the hard part, finding that passion. And you may stumble into something. I mean, there are people all the time that they do something and you say, oh my God, you're so good at that. You know, you could actually do that. No, oh, I don't think so. I just do it because I like it. They can't actually visualize it being a business, because once it becomes a business, it's not fun anymore. Well, then don't worry about making it into a business. Just do it as a hobby. Do it as a hobby for a while. If you don't make any money doing it, does it really matter? You're doing something that you love to do. And what it's doing is it's helping you shape you as a person. You're becoming a more well-rounded person, because the worst thing in life, and they always say it, is having regrets. You live your life from point A to point Z,
And then you
make
die.
it, and then you die. Make it happen in between, okay? And I'm speaking from experience, because for the longest time, I couldn't have even visualized doing something like this, okay? I'm 52 years old. So there's hope for everybody. It's never too late. You could be in your 70s, you could be in your 80s, and there's still hope to make it happen. This guy, he's 20 years my junior, he realized it much sooner than I did. And granted, it's easier if you have somebody to bounce ideas off and somebody to motivate you. So perfect. Find a friend.
somebody.
Find a friend. Find a stranger. Find somebody who shares that passion.
I like it. And you could say you're somebody, no family, everyone you know has left you. You're a loner. You have nobody.
You're living on a mountaintop.
You're living by yourself. I would tell you,
Cabin.
there is always support
You're
out there.
Ted Kaczynski, okay?
I always tell people the best support group you can join, and it's so friggin' cheap, is Toastmasters. And a little side plug, the reason I say to join that group is you will learn so much. We pay $60 twice a year. You get a support group. You get people who want you to succeed. You get people who give you feedback. You improve your public speaking skills. And every time you get up to do something, people clap. You feel amazing. And
Talk about affirmation.
you're going to find somebody. It's the most positive group you will ever find.
Right.
So if you have nobody, do that. I promise it will help. It's actually helped me talk more about this book and get this going.
Dan had no friends before Toastmasters.
No friends. I was stuck with this guy.
Trust me, it's the end of the road. You know, you reach that nexus in life, and there's Rob.
There you go.
And it's just like, okay,
Boom.
I have nowhere to go but up. I'm in the abyss.
So let's say you did right. You finish your book. You found someone to support you and get it done, because we all need encouragement, and 2 is better than 1 or 3 or whatever it might be. It's done. Now what do? Next thing is you want somebody to edit it, and you'd be surprised. People want to edit it for you, because when you go to them and say, hey, you know what, I wrote this book, but I need some help with the editing. Everyone wants to be a part of something.
Right.
I think we had about 7 different people look at our book overall. And you can get professional services online to do it, or just family and friends, or anybody. I mean, there's always somebody out there in the world who's an avid reader, and they would
Was it your aunt?
love.
She was a teacher?
I had my grandparents, I had my aunt, I had some people, a couple psychologists look over it who were at PhDs.
I looked it over.
He looked it over.
I mean, that doesn't mean anything, but
Right.
I looked it over.
The more eyes, the
I'm a
better.
stickler for grammar anyway, and I can pick typos out like crazy, like a hawk.
And it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, but you sift it. It's like a sifting mechanism. It's like taking sand and trying to get, the sediments out and make it into a fine powder. Well, by the end of it, this book has become like a fine powder.
Right.
Because it had so many eyes looking over it.
And that goes back to, like, you could be a terrible writer, but if you can get just the structure of it out there, enough people can edit it, it will turn into a book, which is crazy. You could literally write second grade language and have somewhat idea what you're talking about, but because of people helping you out, you will finish a book, and it'll be edited, and it will look nice, and it'll actually make sense. Whee!
Whoops.
Oop, they can't go in that lane, sir.
You stay in your lane.
I remember like 2 years ago,
On my watch.
I would just have my hand on the horn telling that person to go fuck themselves and stick it in that place. And
You don't still do that?
surprisingly not. I kind of want to, but I don't, because I'm not
Show
giving away my power.
refrain, And once again, meditations, affirmations, plus your workout.
And who cares anyway?
Three things. Everything comes in threes. Threes. So this is an exciting day for us.
It's exciting.
Yeah, this is truly your hand, a milestone for us, and we're really infinitely proud of this situation as we blasted over social media. We're expecting a pretty decent turnout because where we're going to in Derby Street and Hingham, Mass, it's like the epicenter. There's a Whole Foods there. There are multiple shops. It's an outdoor mall type of thing. And
It's sort of a affluent area.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what kind of
we'll
people
see.
turn out.
Yeah, and we're hoping for a lot of positivity. A lot of people just what we're really hoping for is to bring to our book to the attention of people that just were not aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we can create this awareness, everything's about creating awareness.
What are we doing
And
here?
if we can do that,
If we can get up, I'm just gonna go around this guy.
He's just in his own way. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. So, yeah, I mean, I think we agree our main goal is to we want people to look and feel their best, or at the very minimal, feel better. Because there are such simple things you can do just to look better by simple nutritional changes, exercise, and just feel better by meditations and affirmations. So we're hoping to spread that message today, and we'll see hope people are receptive to it.
Yeah.
Which should be fun. So let's say you have your book edited. Now what do? You've done all this stuff. It's probably taking you a couple months, maybe a year. You like what you have. Where do you go? So this is actually where everything got easier for us. So you have your book typed in Microsoft Word, whatever it is. What you can do is go on YouTube, and you can find out how to format your book for a website called CreateSpace.com. CreateSpace.com is affiliated with Amazon. I don't know if Amazon owns it or if it's a separate company, but if you go with CreateSpace, they will be able to put your book on Amazon for purchase. Physical, and if you want it on Kindle, that's KDP Select. Anyways, I literally watched a couple YouTube videos how to format a book for CreateSpace, and they take you through step by step how to put the page numbers in the right spot, the header, the footer, how to shift things so it comes out in the right binding and stuff like that. Took maybe a week, and it was done.
Yeah.
But then we needed a cover too. You have two options. One option is you can go on some of those websites. I think it's Odesk or some of those freelance sites. It's cold. And you can submit some ideas of what you want for a cover. We, however, went with a company called 99 Designs. And what you do is you pay a little bit of money. It's a couple $100, but we love our book cover. Love it. He likes it. You want to show it?
Again? Here it is.
There it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Shameless plug. Here we go. Look at that.
Look at it. Look at it.
And the binder, very important. too.
Binding. Yep. And then the back. Yep. So what we did was
The book? Yeah.
Woo! But you go on there, you can literally type in what you want, put sample images on there, and people will submit bids to compete for the right to win the prize, and they get awarded the money. And what you do is you select, I think we narrowed it down from 12 to like 3 people. We had them submit more designs, and then we chose somebody, and he kept working on it, and eventually we had that cover. But we had some horrific ones come through.
Oh, God.
There was like a guy with like a scarecrow breaking free. What was it?
Oh, yeah. Scarecrow breaking free.
One guy was like on a sinking ship or something.
Yeah,
like
he's
that.
breaking the chains and the shackles, if you will.
Oh,
I mean, he took it literally, metaphorically. He just took it way overboard. And that's the thing too. If you have enough people out there, somebody's going to grasp your sensibility. Somebody's going to understand what your eye sees. And you just have to give it some time too, because it can be frustrating. Because you get it back, and it's like you have somebody who's honing in on it. I got it. I don't got it.
He hasn't got it.
And
My hand's so big.
But the thing about it is, don't take no quarter. Don't settle.
Yeah.
Because it's the tendency is going to be like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Well, we have like 10 rounds of editing for this cover.
No.
This
This is business. This is strictly business. You want your vision to come to life. So, 2 cents.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's getting warm again. And it's hot. I'm cold.
Why'd you turn it off? Anyway, I'm just kidding. So you finally get the book cover. Show them the book cover. Show them the back again. One thing you need too is something called an ISBN number. It's the barcode on the back. It's down there. And if you go on, I think it's Bowker, Bowker, you can buy your barcode and get the price on there. Put your price on there.
Very important.
Because it's a pain in the butt to try and get it on later. We made that mistake. Barnes & Noble wanted us to have our price tag on there, so it's $12.95
So
for
they can actually sell it.
exactly. Otherwise, how much does it cost? We don't know.
I know. We're in a traffic jam now. They're all on the way to
To the
our
book.
book signing.
Imagine. They are.
It's like the ball game.
Then once you download that barcode, send it to the person who created your book. You have your book cover. Upload that PDF to CreateSpace. Upload the PDF of your book to CreateSpace, and I think in a week or a couple days, your book is online, and you have a book on fucking Amazon. It's literally those are the steps. That's what you do. Now, yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I just paused and I went. Okay. I had nothing to add.
So let's say, okay, you have a book, it's on Amazon. Now what do you do? So we struggled this for a while. So we wrote the book. I think it was done. It was online March of 2017.
Done and done.
And it's like, okay, we kind of
We've arrived.
we thought we arrived, and we sold a couple copies, but I like coffee today. I did not sleep much last night because I was so excited for tonight. Even with meditations, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, I woke up early too.
It's also sunny early too, but whatever. Anyway, so we kind of rested on our laurels for a good 6 months. We didn't do anything with it. Actually, almost a year. We kind of just got busy with life and other things like that, and we're spending more time on the website and filming videos, and it's kind of like it was done, but it's
we backburnered the book, and I think maybe it wasn't intentionally, but maybe it was, because it's like, okay, we've done this.
Mm-hmm.
But what's of immediate concern? What do we need to work on at this point?
And we were trying to get the core product, the core videos online,
Right.
which we finally did like a month ago, but we definitely could have gotten it done faster. So, lesson learned. We'll make that. We will not.
Once again,
Blah, blah, blah.
you're gonna move at your pace
Yes.
when it comes down to it, and the book comes to fruition, and Dan was gonna actually move on to the next step in the process. Now what? Your book is published. You have a hard copy. Okay, you have this bad boy here. You know, you're showing your friends and your family. Oops, there we go. Friends and family. Look what I did. Ta-da! And the next thing they're gonna ask is, well,
How many have you sold?
how many have you
And
sold?
What are you doing with it?
Where are you selling that, and what are you doing? And those are actually really pertinent questions, because if you wrote the book just as a passion play for your own edification,
Fantastic.
that's fine.
And fantastic.
That's great. But we put a lot of time and effort into it,
And we wanted to
and
make
it's
a
part of a
difference.
bigger picture thing here. Okay, the book kind of encapsulates our philosophy, so we wanted to have it in this format, and it is online as well. But just having the hard copy of this really validates everything that we're doing, not to other people necessarily, but to us. Because it's like when people see this, it's like, geez, you guys actually did do
It's
this.
tactile. It's a real thing.
It's tactile.
It's a real book.
You can taste it, touch it, smell it. Yes,
If you're into that.
if you're into that type of thing. But getting back to what these people were asking, the various loved ones in your life who can be brutally honest with you, what are you going to do with it? I will turn that over to Dan at this point.
And this is where we arrived to today. So there's a couple things you can do, and there's still a lot more we're going to do with this book. But this is just for your own inspiration, so when your book comes out, you know what to do and not make the same mistakes.
Doesn't end up as a coaster.
Exactly. And not wasting time like we've been wasting.
Yeah, I don't call it wasted time.
It could have been.
We've taken a circuitous route. Let's just put it that way.
Yes, and from our mistake, you can learn to do it even faster, which is the goal. Faster
Right.
and more efficient, and just make the world a better place with your message in your book. But what do we do? So, get the book done, and we're like, we actually need to do something with this book now. So what we said was like, I wonder if we could get into Barnes & Noble and do a book signing. And when I first Googled it, some articles came up from around 2010, 2011, when self-publishing really started to come out, and they said, no, Barnes & Noble will not do it. And then I kept searching, and I said, no, they're starting to do this for self-publishers. They're starting to do it. So excited. So excited, I can't even talk. So they're starting to do it for self-publishers. So what happens is once you put your book on CreateSpace, at least from our experience, BarnesandNoble.com, I think it's BNN, whatever the official, we'll put it right here, .com, they will put it on their website for sale. It's just something, it happened automatically. We didn't petition for it. It just happened. We walked in the Barnes & Noble, and we saw a very angry person carrying a stack of books. And we thought, let's not talk to that person. So we avoided that person. Very unhappy man. But then we saw this very nice woman standing by a desk, and we said, "Excuse me, we had a question for you. We wrote a book. It's self-published. What's the process, and whom will we speak to about doing an author event or a book signing?" And she goes, "That would be me." And we're like, "Holy
Kismet.
shit, Kismet! Yes, we're in the right place." So she goes, "Well, one thing you have to do is you have to have your book on BarnesandNoble.com." We said, "I don't think it's on there." She looked it up. It was there because of the whole CreateSpace thing. And then we said, "Okay, so what's the process?" And she goes, "Well, let's find a date." Really? Yeah. Let's find the date. So this was probably in March, I think we went in there.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
March or April.
It wasn't that long ago.
And she said, "Well, we have June 24th. It's a Sunday. Would you like to come?" We said, "Absolutely." And then all we did was we emailed her 2 pictures of us, professional pictures, a JPEG of the book cover, and then I got a flyer back. I got a flyer back, which I'll put on the screen right now.
Code is very, very important.
This flyer is the advertising, as you can see right now. And and here we are. It was literally that simple. If you just have the book on CreateSpace, go in, you talk to the community business development manager, I believe is the term.
Yeah.
Get their information, talk with them, and make it happen. This is our first book signing. We're doing a second one in Burlington in July. We're going to be doing a third one, ideally. That's the exit. I'm just going to keep driving.
Just drive off the ends of the earth.
Whee!
Where are those boys?
They never came to the book signing. They kept filming this video the whole time.
The brutally long.
See what we do for you? See what we do for you?
The links will go to give you content.
And so, that's all you have to do. Get your book on CreateSpace. Make sure it's on Barnes & Noble. It takes about 6 weeks after you publish it on CreateSpace to get on BarnesandNoble.com, and then go in, talk to the community business development manager, and get your book signing done. You can do it. And you know what? Advertise it on Facebook, social media. You can do Facebook advertising. Tell family and friends about it. And you know what? Even if one person shows up, just the idea of sitting there at Barnes & Noble with your book is just, it's unbelievable. And it shows you, not from an ego standpoint, but it shows you what is possible in this world.
How you can connect to people. You're creating a community, if you will. And it's a community of positivity. Mm-hmm. You know, we joke around, we laugh, and we goof off, but we take this really seriously, actually. And if we can make a difference in one person's life, I mean, the goal for both of us...
In your life,
to change 1 million lives. Now, that's a pretty lofty goal. But
you have to dream bigger.
One person at a time, brick by brick, as they say.
Dream bigger. So
one step.
If you want to make this your passion, make this your career, get your first Barnes & Noble, but then keep going. Don't just do one. So we're going to do a second one, hopefully a third one in Framingham, Mass., and then we're going to hopefully do New York City.
New York City.
Keep dreaming bigger. Don't stop. Rob said 1 million people. That's our goal. If we hit 500,000 people, that's pretty good too, but keep dreaming bigger, because what's going to happen is you're going to land somewhere probably in between the highest possible aim and where you are now.
Shoot for the moon, hit the stars, as they say.
It's really true.
It is true.
Look at it. I can see it.
And we've arrived.
So,
Behold.
One thing I will say too, another way you can advertise your book is through KDP Select if you have a Kindle version, which is pretty easy to do. You can do giveaways for about, I think it's 3 to 5 days, which will be our next video actually. And you give away your Kindle for free, and then what happens is you get a lot more numbers and reviews, and hopefully more people will buy it. But if you have a good program in there, like a good PDF file or good workout videos you want to sell on your website, that's a great way to promote those. Because people are getting all this free information. If they want more, they can go on your website, on your whatever, and then pay some money to get your premium program. I'm going to switch the camera. So
perfect.
And there it is.
Behold.
We finally arrived.
This magnificent edifice called Barnes & Noble. Booksellers.
We'll be in there.
We'll be there.
And we're very early. We're about an hour and a half early, but
we're so excited that we're here early.
Look at it.
If we go in there, they'll be like, oh, yeah, your book signing's at 2. All we're going to do is set up a table, and here are the books. But, you know, this gives us a great content for you guys to, you know, basically experience what we're going through.
Look at it.
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 Yeah.
Cool.
It's real. It's real. It's really happening. Real brick and mortar, real book, real people. You can do this.
It's doable.
You can do this. I'm sure there are people that are far more talented out there who just don't have the wherewithal or the go for it type of attitude to do it. We want to be that inspiration to you. Trust me. 2 knuckleheads can do it. You can do it too.
You can do it too.
Hello.
Hello. Excuse us. We're trying to park. Yes.
Okay.
Let's go right here.
Parking. All right. We are here.
We're here.
We've arrived. Wow, look at that.
I was smashed right into it.
Woo-hoo! I'm hypnotized.
As
Woo-hoo.
you can see,
There we go.
Barnes and Noble.
There it is. Behold it.
Look at it.
Learn it, love it, live it.
We'll be inside soon.
We'll be inside. We're probably going to, what?
We're
Sign off for now?
We're going to sign off for now, but we'll see you soon.
Until now.
And we have just finished the book signing. It was fun. It was so fun. Here's a picture. Look at it. Look at it. Anyways, I gotta drive, so Rob's gonna recap what happened, what we liked, what can we improve upon, and how when you have your book signing, you're gonna have one, what you can do to make it even better. Robert.
And the floor is mine.
Barnes and Noble, goodbye.
Goodbye. Well, first of all, it was wonderful. I can't thank the Barnes and Noble people enough. Very gracious with their time, and it was terrific. They had a big setup. We had 23 books out there. We had a nice poster. We had floor side seats. You walked through the door and bam,
Courtside, right there.
We're just right there, right in front. So, so the positives, obviously, of that were we had complete accessibility as far as being able to bring people in. Mm-hmm. They didn't put any restrictions on us, barring they said, "Well, we don't want you streaking through the through the store."
I thought about it.
Yeah, we did. Getting naked. But and it was. I would have to say, it was a positive experience from an energy standpoint. The fact that they gave us free reign to pretty much be creative, do whatever we wanted to do. By the same token, some of the downside from this, I would have to say, is the fact that the day probably wasn't the best. It wasn't the best day for traffic through the store, people who were actually staying and wanting to buy things. There was a lot of people that were popping in and out, and that made it tough.
In a rush.
And they would look at our sign, look at our books, and then just keep walking. So probably the day, but that's really going to be on a case-by-case basis with every location. We just know that this one in particular, Saturday is the day. A big thing that we neglected to do was bring out freebies. And when I tell you this, because I'm a veteran of the trade shows, you need to have free things. It could be a piece of string. It could be a bottle cap. Doesn't matter. People love free shit. And if we can make it where it's health conscious based, like a stress ball, first aid kit, a myriad of different things, it would probably make a difference because it would at least initiate a conversation. Everybody wants freebies, so if you happen to have it, it creates an opportunity to talk up your book. So that's one thing that we probably should have worked on. Another thing to make it more interactive would have been having demonstrations like on a every 10-minute basis. Some sort of fitness thing, because we noticed we set up the yoga mat. Dan started to do some yoga. Immediately elicited a response from somebody. Oh my God, look what you're doing. Oh, I don't think I could do that. And then they brought their granddaughter over and she's doing splits and cartwheels and everything. And I'm like, geez, I can't do that either. But it at least creates a conversation.
Yes.
Also, video would be very important. We had a little iPad set up with our website, but to actually have running video showing either our workouts, our core product, what have you, it probably would have lent a little bit more, I wouldn't call it credibility, but kind of would create a little bit more pizzazz. So food for thought, things that we need to work on. But all in all, very positive day. We sold a couple books. We made an impact with several people, one in particular.
Whee! Look at us. Made impact with the camera.
And we're bouncing everywhere. So, I, once again, can't say enough about the staff at Barnes & Noble. Very gracious, very accommodating, and they most definitely welcomed us to come back. As a matter of fact, they had us autograph several books that they're going to put on display as being autographed by the author. So if you do write your book and you get to this point where you're actually going to be doing the book tour, Barnes & Noble, very credible, obviously, bookstore. It's a name brand, and when you see that, people understand Barnes & Noble. It's not like you're dealing with some independent bookstore. Not that there's a problem with working with independent bookstores, but you are going to get a greater mass audience for your product. So can't say enough about them. I'm going to turn it back over to Dan.
Yes. It was we were there for about 2.5 hours total. It was fun, a little long in terms of, because you were definitely feeling all this adrenaline rush. You were excited, so it does take a little bit out of you, so definitely eat some food. What I would say is when you do your book signing, because you are going to do one, or meet and greet, whatever it's officially called. We were signing books, which is very interesting experience, to say the least.
You got to work on my...
I think we have the worst penmanship of any author ever. It's terrible.
Like, what simpleton wrote in my book?
Oh, God, it was bad. But, yeah, so when you have your book signing, make it interactive as possible. People either are intimidated or they're just, what is this? Something to give away for free to get them in, because the people who did buy our book, they walked up and go, I want that book, boom, sign it. We didn't have to sell. It was the softest sell possible. To get more people over there in the future, free stuff, free stress ball, free bookmark, free something. In the next video of our book thing, we'll probably have that. So, all in all, awesome experience. I am ready for a nap, but all in all, worth it. And now we have quite the awesome picture. Here it is again for our website, for our marketing. And yeah, we look forward to the next one on July 15th. Anything else? He has more wisdom to impart.
No, I have no wisdom at all. Just reiterate that don't get discouraged, especially if you get to this point where you're actually doing the book signing, because there are going to be ebbs and flows. And the individual that we dealt with at the store said, as you can see, you have a rush of traffic, and then you have periods of time where there's nobody. We look at it as being a positive that we're there. Before we even set foot in the door, we have succeeded. We've won. Because we got our book in there. It's on the shelves. It's selling. We have it on the website. So we're a known entity. And once you do that, you legitimize yourself, and it will make it much easier to go to the next location. And we're going to chronicle all of these as we do this. Not probably to the extent of we did earlier, where this is the first step and this is the second step, and how do you write a book, and how do you go about publishing a book, and how do you get it into a store. No, we're probably going to do little blurbs where it's like, oh, we're off to our next book signing, and it's going to be here, and this is what we expect, because I think that's going to be the beauty of it. As these progress, as they evolve, there's going to be more of a groundswell of support for what we do. And we want you to be there with us. Because we're not just doing it for ourselves, we're doing it for other people. When we have people that come up and say, this will make a difference in my mother's life. I wish I had had this.
True story.
When I was going through my surgeries, because I felt so alone. It touches you in a way that at the time you really can't comprehend. And you realize I'm actually doing something that's quantifiable. It's something that's valid. It's pure in its scope. Sure, you want to make $1 and a cent, but if you don't, you don't. If you can just make a difference, if you make a difference in your own life, that's wonderful. But if you can touch other people, that's so profound, you cannot put a price on it. So we will continue to chronicle our adventures as we go on our tour with Barnes & Noble. And that's all I have. I'm going to turn it back to Dan.
So yes, start working on your book. I want to see you in Barnes & Noble. I want you videotaping your trip to Barnes & Noble. And I want you to just fucking go for it. Think bigger. Dream bigger. Don't dream big. Fucking dream bigger. Until next time.